And I'll call the meeting to order, and also say that on the phone we have Councillor Rhodes, who is joining us. So we do have a full council here today. Are there any introduction of late items? No. And no delegations. So the first is business, and that would be a letter. Oh, sorry, do we have to adopt the agenda? As I'm sorry, that wasn't in here. Okay. 1, 2. Campbell King.
This year, 1, 2.
All in favor? Thank you. So first up is our business, and that would be a letter from the Mayor of West Kelowna. Mr. Emanko, would you like to speak to that,
Sure.
please?
Yes, this letter was written by Doug Findlater, the Mayor of West Kelowna, to numerous municipalities, looking to garner support from municipalities to send letters to the provincial government to facilitate a revenue sharing with local governments from the taxes that are going to be gained from the legalization of marijuana. So it came at a time we couldn't cover it with a staff report. So, but basically, it's a matter of whether or not council would like to address this issue. Would you, if you feel that you have sufficient information to deal with this matter, it can go straight to the agenda for this afternoon, and a resolution whether to support a letter being drafted can be made.
Good, thank you. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Asking for more information would be a waste of time, because we don't seem to have any real information from the province yet as far as what those taxes are, if there's an additional tax or what that even looks like. But having something like this, a change like this, will be a lot of work on the municipality's part, both based on bylaws, policing, what we do know about the home growing plan and enforcing that. So it makes sense to me to be asking for a share of that tax, whatever that tax might be. So I'd like to make a motion to move this to the open meeting this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to it? I'd just like to say that in looking at the letter, all of the issues that municipalities have to deal with, you've mentioned some of them. There's social issues, public health, communications, zoning, planning, fire services. All of those need to be included in our discussions about this, and therefore asking for a certain amount of money. We're not quite sure what that means, but the letter suggests 50% of the provincial share, which I believe is 75% from the government and from the federal government. I believe they have said that the provinces would get 75% of the money. So asking for some money to help deal with this, I think makes sense too. So I would support this. Anybody else? Okay, so the motion was to move it to this afternoon's meeting. All in favor? Thank you very much. That's carried.
Can we have Councillor Rhodes vote for?
Oh, I'm sorry. Councillor Rhodes, would you like to vote on that? I forgot.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. I'm having a bit of a problem hearing the audio. I just sent an email to Brianne.
Oh, okay. So can you hear anybody?
Well, it's quite intermittent, but anyway, with regard to the report, I'm very supportive of it, and I feel that we should send off a letter of support as requested.
Okay, so we have made a motion to move it to this afternoon's agenda, and we'll deal with it at that time. Are you in favor of that?
Yes, I am.
Thank you very much. So that was unanimous. Okay, Next on the agenda is SILGA, call for resolutions. Ms. Van Vienen.
Thank you. The Southern Interior Local Government Association is holding the 2018 convention in Revelstoke from April 24th to 27th. Alison Slater, Executive Director, is requesting all resolutions that local governments wish to submit for consideration be forwarded no later than Friday, February 23rd, 2018. Resolutions should be relative to regional issues and should not pertain to a finite local interest and should be endorsed by Council before it is sent. Background materials are also requested when sending resolutions. If Council wishes to submit a resolution to the SILGA Convention, the resolution should be prepared and endorsed by Council no later than February 19th. So we're just looking to see if Council wishes to send anything off.
Thank you. I do know that some of these items were talked about the other day at the regional district, RDOS, and so that is 6 municipalities, 8 municipalities, 8 regional districts. And they were quite supportive of sending a letter to SILGA on Greyhound, and the letter was worded such that they wanted that, call it Connecting Communities Fund, that the provincial government set up a fund to try and help rural and remote communities. So it was talked about at some length, and that is certainly something that we've talked about here too, the Greyhound service that is being slated to be quite a bit less than it is right now. There was Fortis is another issue that, and I'm not sure whether we want to do anything with that, but at the regional district, it was agreed to support the Anarchist Mountain community to be an intervener at the Fortis their public meetings that they have with BCUC, and so that is going to happen. So I'm not sure whether we want to deal with something like that or not, but just so that you know, some of those things are being forwarded to SILGA by the regional district.
That's the two-tier rates? Is that what you were talking about?
Yes, there's a huge, they have now suggested when they came to our meeting the other day that they would cut out the two-tiered rates, but it's still sort of in the planning stages.
Right, phasing it out over 5 years, right?
Yes, and that was questioned as well, whether it should take 5 years to phase it out versus when it came in one. However, those kinds of things are being dealt with. We may want to do something ourselves or not. Councillor King.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I was just curious. I know it's kind of late, but since we were talking about the marijuana earlier today, would that be something we'd want to push forward to SILGA also, or think about?
It sounds to me that that Kelowna's probably putting through that resolution and asking for support for it. Am I wrong?
Well, they're requesting not specifically for a resolution, but my sense is that one of the larger municipalities certainly will be putting together a resolution, probably from all the region, from all the areas. There will be many marijuana resolutions at the UBCM this year, I suspect.
So putting forth an additional one would be advantageous, or supporting one of the bigger municipalities?
Well, I think we could take a wait and see and just support one of the larger municipalities. Basically let them do it, because the actual putting together a resolution requires a lot of research, documentation, all that, and so I would be supportive more so if they, we just,
It's possible as well that what we could do is, if we do draft a letter this afternoon, we could send a copy of it to SILGA so that they, I think that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
Councillor Rhodes, did you have anything to add to this? Have you been sitting down there in the sunshine thinking about resolutions to SILGA?
Actually, I just wanted to kind of bring forward the email that you shared with me this morning, Mayor McCordoff, with regard to burning in the regional district and that kind of thing. But I'm totally unprepared to comment on it at this time, but I think it's a fairly serious serious or can be a fairly serious issue and how it impacts our community, knowing full well that it is typically a regional district issue, but I'm just wondering if there's something that we could do through SILGA to maybe promote a little bit more enforcement with that.
And the letter that I'm referring to was sent to me yesterday as a director of a regional district, and which is why I forwarded it to you and to Mr. Romanko. I could certainly forward it to the rest of council. I just got it. It's from one of our local residents, and it was concerning burning in the agricultural area. So I will do that. I do think that the regional district directors have all got this letter. They just got it yesterday as well, and it may come up at our next meeting, Councillor Rhodes. We'll keep an eye on that. But if you'd like to forward a resolution to us, we would certainly be interested in reading it. He's not committing to that. Okay. I didn't want to put you on the spot. I know you just got that, CJ. Is he still there? Or?
Yeah, I think it's a topic that's might be worthy of some discussion. I'm not sure whether it would be worthwhile sending it off to SILGA, but certainly if we can have a little bit of discussion in the near future about it, it might be something that we can, kind of develop and move forward with it a bit.
Sounds like a good idea. I will forward this this email to the rest of council, and we can all be thinking about it, okay?
Sure, perfect, thanks.
And anything else? Did anyone else have anything they'd like to add to this? So what we're going to do is just think about this, Ms. Van Vianen, and perhaps come back and provide you with some information or some suggestions if we have any. Am I correct?
Yes. In terms of a time frame, I would suggest that if council does wish to have a resolution developed, that they bring that back to the next council meeting, and then council can make a motion whether or not they want to bring the resolution.
Sure.
So that would give us enough time to try and pull together the research and take it to the SILGA to meet their time frames.
The next council meeting, I believe, is February the 5th or something like that.
Yeah,
so
then,
in order to have this done by February the 19th, we'd have to be pretty quick with it, right? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else that needs to be on the agenda? No. All right. Could I have a motion to adjourn, please? Councillor Youngberg.